You don't understand the speed in speedcube. Many reviewers talk about how a cube is too fast, too slow, it overshoots, etc, etc. But what does that actually mean? I'm not talking about the screw depth. That you can change that anytime. I'm talking about the genetic information, the physical genetic code in a speedcube that determines whether a cube flops or succeeds. And I'm gonna try and break that down. But firstly, I need to teach you a very difficult concept, but it's actually pretty simple. Surface area. Let's take a look. Surface area is incredibly important in all aspects of sciences, even lubrication, which I might make a future video on, perhaps, but it's especially important for cube engineering. The surface area is basically the area of the surface. Yeah, it's as simple as that. Take an elephant, for example. Everything that you see, from the skin, to the ears, to the trunk, yeah, that's the surface area. Now take the surface area of corner and edge pieces. If there's more surface area, that means there's more contact from which the pieces have to slide upon each other, which means more friction. And friction is of course bad. Friction is lost energy, wasted energy, which eventually results in a slower cube. Now you can't change the surface area of a cube. That's fixed in place. You can't change that. Perhaps you can decrease the friction coefficient, which is, more physics stuff, and you can do that through lubrication, and it can work, but it's only temporary. Okay, enough rambling now. Let me actually show you what I'm talking about. Alright, so this is a very messy desk. Hold up. Okay. So I want to show you something. So this is the GAN, I believe it's the GAN I carry, one of the newer ones. And this is the Waylong V10. And I want you to look at the differences between them. So first with the V10, first with the I carry. This is a pretty simple design. They have normal block, torpedo here, they have the foot of the edge here, kind of protrudes out to, keep the cube in place, the edge in place. And that's it really. I mean, this is what I would consider low surface area. Low surface area means that there's less contact. Less contact means less friction. And it would explain why this cube is actually really frictionless. Unfortunately, the corner cutting is pretty bad. Actually, no, the corner cutting isn't that bad, but by today's standard, it is pretty bad. Now, Waylong V10. As you can see here, there are so many indentations here. There's like 2 feet here, torpedoes with an extra torpedo here. Like, it's so complicated. This is more like a block. This, well, has so many indentations. I mean, this has like 1, 2, 3 torpedoes or something. I should also mention the centerpieces. As you can see, there's actually this princess dress. There's actually this part that kind of extrudes out and it comes in contact with this area. Again, more surface area, more friction, to slow the cube down. Comparing it to the I carry, there's no skirt. Yeah, skirt, that's what it's called. One last thing I should mention, the V10 is fast, but not because of the frictionless feel. Unlike with the I carry, the speed comes from the frictionlessness, if that makes sense. However, for the V10, the speed comes from something else. And it's these repelling magnets. These edge to core magnets repel each other, kind of auto aligns for you. And I can actually feel the difference. When turning the V10, I can almost feel the auto alignment, the speed coming from the repulsion. However, with this, the I carry, I can actually feel the speed coming from the pieces themselves. Let's talk about lubrication. Lubricants provide a thin surface medium between the areas of contact, reducing friction and overall making the cube faster. Now, by increasing the surface area, more lubricants are needed to cover the areas of contact. This might explain why in newer GAN releases such as the GAN 16 and GAN 15, people have started noticing that the cubes eat through the lubricants very quickly. With the larger surface area, more lubes are needed to compensate for the larger surface area. It also means that the lubricant already in the cube is thinner, meaning that it will more quickly evaporate and dissipate into the abyss. Now this begs 2 questions. 1. Can surface area correlate with cube preferences? My answer is, well, perhaps. I've noticed that when people talk about liking a more blocky cube, they usually mean a cube with less surface area. But I would also say no. Surface area doesn't instantly correlate with faster cube, a cube with more friction. It's all about the contact. If a cube with high surface area doesn't have pieces that come in contact with each other, there just won't be enough friction. And that's a bad thing too. It means that there's no grip. And if there's no grip together, well, the cube will just explode. Number 2. Should cube reviewers and even customers consider surface area when buying a cube? It's come to a point now where we have so many preferences and so many choices in a speed cube where we can basically pick whatever we like and we don't have to sacrifice much. Now, with the surplus of choices, it does mean that people will compare even the slightest faults and errors in design. One fear I do have though is a world where we use statistics to review cubes, and I just don't want that to happen. I mean, just imagine getting the Tenyon and using every statistic out there to test if it's a good cube or not. I mean, it would just fail every test, but it's a Tenyon. It's just a lovely feeling cube, and you know, people still buy it for the feel. And I don't know, maybe that's what we should be doing instead of holding cubes accountable to, oh, if it passes this test or if it passes this statistic. If you like it, you like it, and nobody can take that away from you. Anyway, this has been a really fun video to make. It kind of combines science with speed cubing, which I personally find pretty interesting. I'd really love to hear your experiences down below in the comments section if you also feel that speed isn't interchangeable, and you know, sometimes on other cubes the speed feels a little bit different. Anyway, yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. See ya.